Okay. I would really love to get some feedback from you guys, not on this call necessarily, but maybe if you guys have any thoughts, you can throw them into a message on my in my inbox and let me know your thoughts about this training and inspiration component that we have that we've been going through in the month of April. And if you guys have ideas on what this could look like for us an accountability group going forward. I feel like there's such richness hearing different stories of people from our team. I feel like that really builds belief, that allows us to have an open seat to hearing about somebody's experience with Plexus, where we can ask questions and we can really dive deeper into ways that their health has been changed, so that way we can go and help other people. So I really like that component. And I've really enjoyed the training component. And I know that we get a lot of great things from accountability group too. So I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like in a balance. So if you guys have any thoughts, if you have any suggestions, if you have a preference of what you would like accountability group to look like after seeing us do this training and inspiration, please feel free to send me a message. But all that to be said, I am so excited about Melissa. You guys know Melissa Crow. She's one of the most encouraging people you will ever meet. She has an
Aw.
incredible story. And so we're going to spend a few minutes hearing her story. You guys be thinking about people in your life who might have similar health issues that she had before she started Plexus, and be thinking, wonder how this could help them. Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, thank you, Emily, for allowing me to share my testimony tonight. And for those who don't know me, my name is Melissa Crow, and I'm a senior gold ambassador with Plexus, a mother of three and two with autism, and my daughter is going to graduate from college. We're actually at the college right now because she needed my help with some things. So I'm in the computer lab. So if you see things going on, I don't know. Anyways, and then also I'm a military chaplain's spouse, pastor's wife, whatever you want to call me. I've had quite a journey before Plexus, trying everything I could to be defined as well, but getting nowhere except downhill. And through the years, many different tests and pokes and prods, and my regular PCP, GI specialist, allergists, RA, doctors, they just couldn't figure me out. And I was becoming frustrated and very alone, and I didn't know really what the purpose of my suffering was. And instead, they medicated me and they placed Band-Aids when they couldn't figure me out. And in turn, that made me more sick and it made me feel hopeless. I was diagnosed with numerous autoimmune diseases like RA, fibromyalgia, mastocytosis, which is like leukemia but without cancer. And my inflammation was just absolutely out of this world. And some days I even compared myself to Violet from Willy Wonka. A short glimpse into my daily life, though, is I was a prisoner of my own body and prisoner of my own home. I couldn't leave my home for fear of having an accident. And I had chronic diarrhea my whole entire life before Plexus. And I could go anywhere between 10 to 15 times a day with numerous accidents. And I couldn't even go to the store, and it was only a mile away. I could not go to my church that was 3 miles away, and I couldn't go out to eat with my family because I had a fear of eating. Every time I ate, then I'd have a reaction, and I was sensitive to everything but not allergic to anything. They just could not figure me out. And taking cromolyn sodium and Allertec as histamine blockers helped to lessen some of the effects of the mastocytosis, but that's like hives and rashes and burning and swelling. But I was very, very sick. And before Plexus, my A1C was crazy abnormal, and my SED rate, which is an inflammation marker, was wonky. And all of my other lab work, it was high, nothing was working. In fact, I was actually having more and more negative side effects due to the 15 meds that they had me on, like gabapentin, prednisone, glipizide, Trulicity, metformin. Are these sounding familiar? Methotrexate, Fioricet, Fiorinol. I had asthma meds, and Tylenol, aspirin, Percocet, Tramadol, lidocaine patches, cromolyn sodium. And I even took Allertec, and it was 2 of them 3 times a day because it was so bad, and the various other ones in between. And just nothing worked. I was literally dying fast. And when Kylie first told me about Plexus, I completely denied that that this could help me, but I thought I would join because, you know, I support my cousin. But I will be honest, I really didn't do what she said. I didn't take it consistently, and in fact, I actually pushed my sub out months and months away. And when push came to shove, though, over a year and a half later, she very hesitantly asked me to join her on a 21-day challenge. While I was at my absolute lowest point in my life. And I had just pled to God to heal me or take me home just the day before. And I am ever so grateful that she kept asking, because not only was it her persistent, concerned nature, but the fact that I totally trust her, and that this could be the answer to my prayer from the day before, that I said yes. And I really didn't fully grasp what I was saying yes to from that moment, but my life has been forever changed. And within a first month of being consistent, taking my products, staying off the scale, drinking my water, doing stretches every day, and listening to the Bible, all of my lab work finally came in, and it was in normal range. My clothes were fitting looser and I didn't mind. And I was moving more. My inflammation was greatly reduced. My thinking was clearer. I had amazing energy. And I could actually crochet again without pain. And I had that motivation to live again. So feeling fortunate to have my health back, I couldn't help but share. I was completely blown away from all the amazing responses from people that I got encouragement on by sharing on social media. And I'm finding that the more vulnerable I am, the more confident I get to share. And the more confident I get, the easier it is. And the more times that I do it, the more people I can help. And I absolutely love helping people. So if anybody knows me, they know that I love to help. And that fills my pitcher every single day, to be able to help other people. And now I can truly, truly say that the past is behind me, with plenty of adventures ahead, thanks to God and Kylie and Plexus.
Okay, everybody's grabbing their Kleenexes. So
I didn't turn it to the pictures because I didn't want to see anybody's face.
Okay, Melissa, what does your husband say about your journey over the past year and a half?
He's loving it because he can get to see me more. I can travel to see him, and he can travel to see me, and we actually get to do things that we have never been able to do before. I've really been confined to my house, and now I can go and I can be and I can see. And so last February, I went to Alaska, and I actually went to Kastner Ice Caves in Alaska, and it's 2 miles there, and then you get to see the caves, and then it's 2 miles back, and I made it, and I was not even a mile before. And now it's just amazing. And even I had both of my hips replaced, one last September and one last November, and those surgeries would have taken me under. But now, because of the ease and the active, it's been amazing. The inflammation that has greatly decreased. And what did you want to say something, dear?
Usually you're not.
Oh, so my daughter's here, and she says, and normally I can't be here with her. And so this is such a good thing. And like I said, I'm sitting here at the college. But normally I'd be like, okay, I gotta run. And I don't do that. And it's so refreshing, and it is liberating.
Melissa, which products did you start with? And which products, like, if you could only take 3 products, which products would they be?
Okay, so I did start only with the triplex. And
Did you
I
did you
think
do Hunger Control Slim or the
I
Microbiome
did
Slim?
hunger control.
Okay.
Yes, because somebody needed to hold me back for the pantry. So my 3 favorite products, I would say Slim, Active, and Ease.
Kylie
Those are
knows you
my,
well. Look at that.
oh
She's
yeah.
an Ease and Active there. Okay, Slim, Active, and Ease would be her go-to. And do you
Oh
do
yeah,
loading dose of Ease, or do you just
yes.
do 2? You
I
do.
still do 3 E's twice a day. And I just realized that I had RA before so bad that that I was just in so much pain. And so whenever I just go down, I start to feel the pain, which I don't want to start to feel the pain. So I just go back to the loading dose. I'm kind of a pansy on that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. If you guys have more questions for Melissa, throw them in the chat, because I'm sure if you have a question, other people would benefit from hearing the answer too. So Melissa, if you don't mind just kind of looking at the chat whenever we transition to the training and see if anybody has any questions. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Melissa. Your story is
You're
so
welcome.
inspiring, and I loved exactly what you said was that, I can't remember the quote, but basically like the more you were sharing, the more you became confident, and the more you became confident, the more exciting it was to share, the more bold you became. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Melissa. You're incredible. Okay,
Thanks,
let's
Emily.
go ahead and transition you guys to, we're going to do a little bit of training. So get out your pen and your paper and move this down here and present. All right. So you guys, if you remember 2 weeks ago, we went over kind of part 1 of this What's Next series, where we talked about having a firm foundation with your business. Like, it has to start with you before you can start growing in your business, before you can see that residual income. You have to have a firm foundation. And this is off the top of my head, so I hope I get it right. But that firm foundation comes from vision, from belief, from activity, and from resiliency. And so those are the 4 areas that I see bringing such foundation. I'll repeat that again: vision, belief, action, and resiliency. And so we're transitioning now that you have that foundation, now that you know what it takes for you to operate your business as a high performer, as a leader, to have a strong foundation within your business. Now we're going to transition to this What's Next part 2, leading with confidence. So, with this business, we are blessed because we get to help other people. And just like Melissa was saying, she had such great results, she couldn't help but share. So by her sharing, that's growing her upline business. And so we can't grow to where most of us want to go without other people. And so how do we do that with confidence? And that's, I feel like, one of the number 1 questions of like duplication. How do I do this? And so this is not going to answer every question, but what I hope that this does, I hope is this gives you a goal of what you should operate your business at and how to start having dialogue with people. So I encourage you, if you would like to screenshot some of these graphs that I've put together, some of these pictures I've put together, hopefully they will help and bless you. So your goal with Plexus, you, Nancy, Melissa, Carrie, Abby, your goal is to grow a wide level 1 base, and I'll say what that means in a minute, and to lead business builders to do the same. So your goal is to have as many customers as possible. So for me, my level 1 base would be the people I directly sponsor. So I directly sponsored Kara Carrington. I directly sponsored Hannah Richardson and Carrie Compton and Lisa Schupler. All of those ladies are my level 1s. And when I first started my business, my upline, who is wildly successful, you all know her, love her, Tamara, that was what she told me. She said, you really want to grow a wide level one base. We're going to talk through what that looks like in a minute, but then we're going to lead into how do we do that where we're helping our level ones become business builders themselves. So I would like maybe one or two of you who've been with me for a minute to unmute yourself. Why is it important to grow a wide level one base? Kind of throw out some ideas. Why is that important?
One really good reason right now is for this leaders retreat. Like it's only level ones and level twos. Like even if you had like a 27 level deep business, like that's not going to get you on this cruise boat. So this it's not always like that for different retreats and contests and stuff like that. But this one specifically having a wide level one, and like some working level ones is a perfect example of why it's important.
That's right. Why else is it important to have a wide level one base?
Because not everybody sticks around.
That's right.
People start and go strong sometimes, and then they quit.
That's right. That's right. Rhonda, what were you going to say?
I was going to say something similar to Carrie, but the wide level one just makes a really firm, when I think about it in this particular comp plan, it's a firm foundation. And instead of, when I think about this comp plan, I don't think of it going down. I think of it as a foundation, and you build up and you get to
exactly right.
just look up. So I really feel like the stronger the foundation, the more powerful of an impact that you're going to have on your team.
You guys are all amazing. That's exactly right. Michaela was exactly right. For the here and now, this contest that has just been announced, it is just for your level ones and your twos. So for the here and now, for this, if you want to call it a carrot that you're chasing, that is important. But like Carrie also said, you don't want to just pour into one level one. Like if Rhonda is my level one and she's my strongest and I'm only pouring into her, then what if she, does a slow fade? Then there goes my business. And then Rhonda's exactly right. And that's what I put in my notes of having a wide level one base gives you a really, really solid business. And so I want to give you guys an example. There's a lady named Celeste Gwynn. Some of you might know her name, and she is a 12-star diamond. So I put these little dots up here to show kind of as a visual. So like, let's imagine that these dots are her customers, which she probably has a bazillion more level one customers. Within all of the people that she assigned in the past, however many, 10, 15 years, out of all of her level one base, out of her level one customers, she has created 12 different jewel legs. So she has 12 very strong teams in her business. And so I know for a fact that she makes a ton of money. And that's not what it's all about, but it's really nice that she has that strong foundation, and that came from her building a very wide level one base with customers, with dripping belief about the business, offering the business, providing really strong customer care. So this is another example. This is just our team. I don't know if you guys can see with my little thing here. So this is a really cool example. This is our team right here, but this is just one example of one of Celeste's leg. So Celeste has her upline, Jen Hawkins, and then Jen signed Celeste, Celeste signed Suzanne, and these are all level ones. Suzanne signed Nicole, Nicole signed Tamara, Tamara signed me, I signed Hannah, and I signed Kara, and now look at Hannah, she has signed Liz, Liz has signed Lacey. So look at that. This is just one leg of Celeste's business. And look at how many diamonds are in here. Like that's a pretty solid business. And if she has that times 12, that's incredible. And that's what we're going for here. I just want to make sure everybody's aware, like that's what your goal is just to build a wide level one base. So how do you build a wide level one base? In simple terms, you are boldly inviting people, you're sharing on social media, and you're filling your funnel. What that means is you are meeting people. You're maybe meeting people online, you're meeting people at Chick-fil-A, you're meeting people in your church, at the park, at the school. You are growing your network. You are intentionally meeting people. You're not being salesy, you're not being slimy, you're finding relationships with people. But in general, in simple terms, this is how you grow a wide level one base. You're inviting people, you're sharing on social, and you're filling your funnel. And I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of all that because we do that a lot and we spend a lot of time on that in accountability group. And you can also go to our team page, Rising Jewels, that is specific just for people on our team. It is just for customers or ambassadors, and it is a way that we can provide resources to grow and help you as a leader within this company. So you can take a look at the different hashtags, like we have a search bar in Rising Jewels. You can type in one of these hashtags or type in a keyword if you're curious. How do I do that? Like, how do I reach out to people boldly? How do I share on social? You can find a lot of really great resources in there. So now let's go ahead and transition. So we've talked through growing a wide level one base. Now let's transition to how do we lead people in the business here? And I know probably every single one of you is like, ears are perking up, because you've tried it, or you know you need to try it, or you've tried it and you failed, or you've tried it and you've had great success. But this is an area that we desperately need to be continually working on. But it's hard. It's a lot harder than finding customers. So give yourself grace as you are learning how to do this and working through this. So unmute yourself, a few of you, and share with us how you have introduced the business opportunity to some people. I know there are many. Go ahead.
I like to ask them where they're at. Like what are their desires?
Like your
first.
customers, your current
Mm.
customers?
Well, I mean, even some of the people that I open up and I talk to, I ask about, where are they at, financially? Is that something that would be, just a side thing, or would it be something that they absolutely need it and it's a desire of their heart? Yeah.
So you're in conversation, you're asking questions. Perfect. Who else? What are other ways that you kind of introduce the business to people?
I tend to use getting your products paid for while you're trying them out. And so that way, because I mean, it can get expensive. And so for somebody who's really skeptical, which is where I was, I don't want to pay for something I'm skeptical about. And so if that's how I'm sure there's other people that way too.
Yeah, that's great. That reminds me, there's a really good video out there from Kim McCloskey, and I can send it to our Gold Diggers thread. But she talks about what Abby was saying, and she approaches her business introduction very much with like, our family needed the products, we couldn't afford the products, and this was a really big blessing for us, this referral program. Is this something you'd be interested in hearing more about? Is that something that could bless you too? So definitely like operating with the referral program and getting the products paid for. Anybody else? Maybe one more, how you introduce it? Maybe to like a dream team or like somebody that you just think would be amazing at the business. How have you introduced that to them?
Well, I think about Carly Owens, and when I signed her as a customer, and I wanted her to do the business with me, but I was trying to figure out how to do that. And so we were in conversation, we were at a park date, and I just kind of shared my own story. It wasn't even like I was asking her, I just was like sharing what a blessing it had been for me and what we'd been able to do with it. And she was asking more questions. And so just being able to just share, your own story, I think that can intrigue people in a connecting way.
I love that. You just made it very real and very normal. And you didn't, I love that. Thank you guys for sharing. I like this interaction. So another way, or what I have here, is just the best ways to introduce the business to people, very similar to the best ways to grow a wide level one base. You'll see one little difference here. It's to boldly invite. So kind of like what Melissa was talking about. sharing on social media. So kind of like what Kara was talking about, maybe not necessarily on social media was her story, but you can share this with so many people on social media, the business opportunity. And then the last thing I put here was leading by example. I was intrigued by the business because of Tamara and because of what I had seen it do for her. Let's see, Carrie, you joined me. No, well, Hannah joined me when I was a silver ambassador. Hannah is now a sapphire under me, and she joined me when I was a silver ambassador. So I was making like maybe $2. Like I was not making a lot of money, but she saw me sharing on social about the opportunity. She saw me showing up to the call. She saw me doing things in our team thread. So that was leading by example. No matter the rank that you're at, no matter the paycheck that you get, you lead by example, because these dream teamers, these people who want to start a business and they want to have a thriving business, they're going to follow people who are leaders. So that's a huge way to introduce the business to people. You not waiting, but you continuing to move forward and grow your business and sharing, and eventually people will come back to you if it wasn't their right time, because that was my story. So, okay, I'm going to move this again. So if you guys want to take screenshots of this, I just put together some different message examples. So, you know, we said the first way to introduce the business to people is to like drip belief, to invite them boldly. So I've got 2 examples here of reaching out to business potentials. Hey, Sarah Beth, today I was thinking specifically about you. Now you can send this, you know, via messenger, via text. You can get on a phone call with these people, but this is to a potential that you think would be great with the business. Hey, Sarah Beth, today I was thinking specifically about you. You are kind, generous, smart, successful in your career, and someone who people really look up to. Teaming up with women just like you has been incredibly inspiring in my own career. I'm wondering if you'd be open for lunch, if you don't live local, a phone call about the business side of my health company to see if this is something you'd be interested in pursuing with me, or maybe have a friend who this opportunity could bless. So that's a little more formal. That's a little more like, you know, formal. So then here's an example of maybe one that's not near as formal and a lot more like personal, because you really know this person. I just threw this together. Woman, I want to be on the beaches of Hawaii with you and Joe, and I would die if we got to work together every day doing amazing things for others and for our families. Tell me that you want to know more about Plexus. Let's do this together. Wouldn't that be so much fun? So that's a way that you can drip some belief. That's a way that you can introduce the business to somebody that's not a current customer. Next, let's go and transition to maybe introducing this to a happy customer. So you've got somebody that's been on the products for a month, maybe a couple of months, they're starting to see some results. So this is more of a polished message that you could send to somebody. Hey, Sarah Beth, I'm going to go out on a limb here and see if you'd meet up with me for lunch / a phone call this week. I know that you've had some awesome results with Plexus, and I can't help but think your story may help so many others who are out there suffering in silence. I found that most people don't know much about the other incredible side of Plexus and how simple it is to create passive income. I'd love to have an opportunity to sit down with you and see if this is something that could bless you the way it has my family and so many others. Would you be open to a conversation? Now, I hope that you guys are seeing the end of every single message has a question. You don't want to have something in there that's just like, I'd love to know your thoughts, or can't wait to hear back from you. End it with a question so you can go back to it if you need to. So that's a way to keep that conversation going, and it's not just kind of out there like, I don't know. I've received this message and I don't really know what to say. So if you have a question, that makes it easier for the conversation to continue. Now here's maybe a less, well, I mean, this one's still a little bit polished, but I like this one. This is for another customer that might be enjoying their products. So I was sitting here thinking about how great it's been to see you doing so well on the products. I know how much you love them. It's so fulfilling to see healthy results in other people because of these products. If I hosted a short 30-minute Zoom for your friends about gut health, do you think you could invite 5 to 10 people? I could even send them a sample to mix up and drink while we're on the Zoom together. What do you think? So that just kind of takes the work out for them. You're maybe dripping a little bit of like, oh, maybe this is a little something I could consider doing. And she's offering to do this for me. She's offering to send some samples to my friend. She's telling me what I need to do, just 5 to 10 people. I can do that. So those are some different ways that you can start like introducing this business to people. Next, this was something like Abby was talking about. So even though we have ShareCart, hear me here, even though we have ShareCart, which is a great amenity, there's still some little like kinks in it. And I feel like this is a very sensitive time when you have customers who are saying, okay, I'm ready to sign up. And then if I send them a ShareCart and it's like not really working or it's a little confusing, that's just me. I get a little nervous about that. So I am still at the place where I am still signing my people up over the phone. I believe that that connects me with those people. I believe that it allows me to have conversation and really give excellent customer care with them until I become more comfortable with ShareCart. That's what I'm doing. And so when I'm in a conversation with them, and listen, even if you're doing ShareCart, I still want to see you getting on the phone with them once they get their products. So you can be walking through with them like how to get started on the products. You can be telling them like more about their subscription, more about perk points. I really encourage you, if you're nervous about the phone, just stop being nervous and just try it, because you're not going to get better until you do it and try it. And it really is such a fun way to get connected with your people. And as you know, relationship is what creates retention. That community, that culture, that friendship is what creates retention. And I feel like that truly comes through when you're able to get them on the phone. And if they don't get on the phone, if you've tried everything, that's okay. But you at least offering and trying to do that. So here's a way that you could maybe introduce that over the phone. As you're talking with them, they just signed up. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is how you will be 85% more successful when you have someone do this with you. Do you have a loved one that would want to get healthy together, hold each other accountable, have fun testing this out? See what they say. And then maybe you can transition into, yeah, I'd love to get into a three-way message with them, help you guys out. I'd love to send them some samples. Maybe we can do a little party and you can invite her and a few other friends and I can kind of give some education. Like that's a really great way to like segue into that conversation. Okay, so now we're going to transition into social, because we talked about the ways to introduce a business to people is through boldly inviting, social media, and then being the example. So what I have found, and you guys, this is kind of a longer one, but what I have found is that when you are real and authentic and you're sharing from your heart, exactly like what Kara said, people are drawn to that. So this picture is of, please look at my child, Ellis. She's so cute. She's in those little ears and like glaring at us, whoever's taking the picture, hilarious. But I think I'd just gone senior gold. I'd been with Plexus for maybe 10 months. And the girls and I surprised my mother-in-law and her mother. So the girl's great grandmother. We flew down to Arkansas and got to surprise them before my husband's grandmother passed away. And it was one of the most magical, most amazing experiences that would not have happened without Plexus. And so I'm going to give you guys an example of how you can, regardless of where you are in your business, this is a way that you can share on social. Kara Carrington, I hope this is compliant. I got really nervous when I went back and I looked at it. Okay. I can't really read that first top part. The total shock and tears of my mother-in-law, I don't know what she says when I said it. Surprised her in Little Rock a few weeks ago will be something our family will never forget. The beauty of my children meeting their incredible great-grandmother is something our family will always cherish. These memories and that special trip would not have been possible without my Plexus income. Seriously, incredibly grateful. Y'all, I paid $34.95, which those of you who are new, like you're paying $9, $10. I had to start my business and I paid $35 back in January so I could get my products at wholesale cost. That $34.95 gave me a business that I could lead at my leisure from wherever and whenever I want to. There's no cap of how many can succeed in this business. It's not just a special few who make it to the top like most companies. There are thousands of top leaders in Plexus, and that number is constantly growing. What would $500 extra a month do for your family? What would abundantly more than that do per month for your family and other families close to you and ministries you're passionate about and strangers you want to bless? These are all very real incomes that many of my close friends bring in monthly. Life-changing products, important, necessary products, not luxury items, $500 million company, debt-free company, generous compensation plan, staying home with my babies, growing my income every single day, and getting healthier by the minute. Don't mind if I do. So I feel like you can really share the business long like this. I don't encourage you to do long ones like this often, but you can do long posts like this. You can do short posts like this. You can go to the grocery store and snap a picture of your shopping cart. So grateful that I don't have to stress over our grocery budget this month. So thankful for my Plexus business. Like, you can share the business on social media, and that will attract those leaders who are looking for that passive income, those leaders who are looking to change things for their families. That's super, super vital. And then, like we said, we talked about leading by example, and we're not going to get into that because, again, that's you showing up every day, doing your income producing activities, which is what we talk about all the time with accountability group. All right, so now those people that you've reached out to, now they're curious. They want to know a little bit more about the business. And this is where I get messages of freak out, like, oh gosh, I just sent a message asking if this person wants to know. They just responded yes. I don't know what to do. So this is where I hope that maybe you'll find a little bit of direction and encouragement. So I put together a little dialogue here. Okay, so they say to you, you've sent them that message, and they respond, sure, I'd be open to hear a little more, though I'm super busy and I'm not sure I can add one more thing to my plate. So this is how I would respond. They say that those busiest in life are typically the most successful. That, with your deep love for others and hard work mentality, are what make me confident you'd be so good at this. So side note, you see, like, I'm still building belief in her. Like, I'm calling out the qualities that I see in her, and I'm also speaking over that objection. Like, she's saying, I'm super busy, and that's when I'm like, what's the word I'm looking for? That's when I'm adding value to that. Like, well, actually, that's the people who tend to be the most successful. Do you mind me asking what intrigues you the most about the opportunity? Extra income, making money while having time flexibility, the trips, the gifts, the prizes, recognition, community. So I'm like laying out different things there that she may not have a clue about. She may not know about any of these things. I want to make sure that I'm sharing about the things you're most interested in. So then let's say she says, I'm not really sure. Maybe the extra income and time. Because you guys, we all know, like, these people who are sending us messages back, they're probably not the most like, yes, I want to know everything. That's been my experience, at least. All right, so then now this is long. I gave 2 different examples here, and now I can't really read what I have up top. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, shoot. Can anybody read that above? Like, I just see a banner. Kara, can you read that up top?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it says, awesome. Thanks for that. That was a big motivator for me as well. I really wanted to stay home with my girls and help out financially so my husband wouldn't have to take on the brunt of the financial stress. If I were to send you a short video that talks a little bit more about the opportunity side of Plexus, would you be open to watching it? Do you want me to read the next one, or do you want to read it?
Sure, you can give my voice.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, the next one says, I have really loved my experience with working the Plexus business. It has been so fulfilling to my heart. You share what has helped you and others with your health, and you help your loved ones get started on the products. They may even desire to pursue the business side too, so they can earn money for their family. It's a perfect opportunity for someone who loves people and has a goal of bringing in a lucrative income with time flexibility. If I were to send you a short video of my friend Brianne where she shares a little about how she started her business, would you be willing to watch?
Thank you. So what you see here is we are not being the expert. We are not vomiting Plexus. We are saying a little bit, like adding value to what we have loved about the business. So we're starting that belief process already, that belief building process already, kind of like touching on the areas that I think are really important to a lot of people, you know, like it's brought fulfillment. I'm helping other people, helping out with financial stress, being able to stay home with my children. So you're kind of like building the belief already. And then you're offering a third-party tool. I love that aspect of it because it's not you just vomiting Plexus, and you're adding in a third-party tool. So as you see, again, at the end, would you be open to watching it? Would you be willing to watch? So then they say, yeah, sure, I can try to do that. Here's what I would say. Great. I think you're really going to connect with my friend. It's only 6 minutes. Will tonight or tomorrow be best for me to follow up and see what you thought? So at this point, I haven't sent the video yet. And you guys, this is not like a perfect cookie cutter, okay, this is how you are going to build a business builder. Like as I was sitting here creating this dialogue today, I had to like get up from my desk multiple times and like think through this, because you don't want to like ask too many questions. You don't want to just like jump the gun and send them all the things. And so, I mean, it really is, it takes time, and each person is different. So this may not work for somebody and it might be perfect for somebody else, but this is just an idea of what I would do. So I've not yet sent the video. I'm asking some questions, asking like out of respect for this person, is it going to be better for you to watch it tonight or tomorrow? You know, when is best to follow up? So I'm not just like sending it to her and saying, hey, let me know what you think. Like I'm setting a scheduled time when she knows I'm going to be back in touch with her or him. So then she says, maybe tomorrow, I'm really busy. So then I'm going to say, hey, thanks so much. I'll contact you tomorrow. Here's the video. Can't wait to see if this is something that might help y'all in the way it has helped us. So now let's transition to the video. Like, what does that look like? Where am I going to find videos? This is my favorite amenities that we have as a team, is that you don't have like just one video within Plexus that you send. Like there's so many different stories, so many different testimonies that you can connect with this person. So like if I know that, you know, my person is a teacher and she's drained, she doesn't really like who she's working with, she wants to be home with her kids, then I might go and send Melissa Eichenhorst's Diamond documentary. I'm going to like know who this person is and kind of know a little bit about what is going to resonate with her heart. And so you have so many different resources. So when you are on our team page, Rising Jewels, the page I referenced earlier, one of my favorite features of Rising Jewels, when you are at the top of the page, you scroll down and you see this right here, featured. And you guys see this little arrow here that shows that there are multiple posts within this little line here. I save posts that I believe are going to be very important for you and your business. So as you can see here, we've got the April calendar, so people don't miss that. We've got the April corporate incentives, but I have in this featured section what I think the most important posts are, resources are, for you to grow a wide level 1 base and for you to lead other people in their business. Exactly what we talked about the goal is at the very beginning of this call. So you can go to that featured post and you're going to see all sorts of different videos and training resources. I have this little picture here to show you. I have this post in this featured section, and it does have different videos that you guys can choose from. Now, if you have a video, so if Nancy has a video that she really likes, it's not in that comment section, Nancy, add that to the comment section. Let's help one another out, #OnePlexus. But you can find some really great videos in there. So some other ways that, like if they've watched the video and they're interested, what do I like to do? I like to ask if they'd, you know, be willing to jump on a phone call with me. I tell them, listen, when I was trying to figure this out, I asked my friend if she'd be willing to get on the phone with me because I had some questions. You know, would you be open to jumping on a call with me? And we can kind of talk through this and I can answer any question that you have. So the 2 questions I love the most are these top 2 questions that I have here. How much extra income a month would bless your family? And I go through different increments. And then how much time would you be willing to put into growing this business a day? I really like those 2 questions for people who are considering starting the business, because I think that really shows us their interest level. It shows us what, like their seriousness. And now you might have some people who just say, you know, I just want to get my products paid for. You have a lot of diamonds who say, or who said, I want to get my products paid for. And then they caught the vision and then they ran with it. So don't dismiss those people who say, oh, I only want to make $100 and I'm only willing to work 1 minute a week. Like, don't disregard those people, but just know that you might be leading them a little bit different than the people who say, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month and I'm willing to work 5 hours a day. So these are questions that I have put together when I have connected with people on the phone about the business. Now, I read the room. I don't just go like in an interview style and ask them all these questions, but I just have a list of questions that I can ask if I feel like it's the right timing. If you don't know the people, I think it's super important to connect with them. Tell me about your family. Tell me about you guys. Tell me about your life. Tell me about like some of your family's dreams, some of your goals. Just so that way you have that friendship and that connection with them. And then these are some other questions. What have you enjoyed or disliked about previous jobs? What's your vision and your dream for your family? What do your days typically look like? What are some fears that you might have with this business? I think that's a really important question to ask. And then, do you have a supportive household? And then at the end here, I said to ask if they have any questions. You know, like we've gone through all of this. Do you have any questions? What are your thoughts in this? Is this something that you think you're ready to do? I think that question right there, is this something that you're ready to do? I think that is something that a lot of people get afraid to ask. And so they'll just be like, okay, well, just think about it and let me know. I say, don't do that. Just ask them. Like, you've had these conversations, you've shared the third party tools, you've shared with them, you know, hopefully you've added them to Trust Your Gut. You've hopefully tagged them in a couple different testimonials about the business. So you've done all that planting. So now it's okay for you to say, you know, is this something that you think you're ready to start? Tell me your thoughts here. And then lastly, I have on here, make sure that you invite them, regardless if they're ready to start now. They've showed you that they're curious to know more. Invite them to our upcoming business opportunity events. We have those the second Thursday of every month. Let's say that you have somebody that you're talking to this week who is interested in the business. Well, that opportunity call isn't going to happen for 2 weeks. Don't wait 2 weeks. Maybe you can send them an opportunity call that we have recorded from the past. We have those all in my YouTube channel. Go follow me on YouTube, subscribe, or whatever that is. And then you can see all of my different videos. So you can send that over. So you're just, I think I have right here, it's cyclical. You are just doing a little cycle. You are building belief with them. So I have in here, the cyclical process is you're boldly inviting, you're building their belief by, you know, sharing testimonials, sharing third-party tools like we talked about at the beginning. You're answering questions. You're then asking if they're ready. If they're ready, then you guys go order products, and then we'll go to the next slide and you know what to do. But if they're not ready to order products, then that means you go back into that cycle of where you're building belief. If you are sending out testimonials and they're maybe not responding, then read the room and know that maybe it's not the right time to continue with the Plexus talk. And maybe that means we need to put the brakes on and you need to build that relationship more. Get connected with them. Stop talking about Plexus and rebuild that friendship, that connection. I can't see any of the chat. So if you guys have questions, just unmute yourself. All right, so now what? They are ready to start their business. They've ordered their products. They've told you, okay, I want to start my business. This is also where people start to get a little willy-nilly and get nervous. In that featured section of Rising Jewels is also this. This is called the PACE chart. I really like this chart. We're gonna go over it super quick because it just shows you 3 different ways that you can lead. This is for people who are just, you know, maybe they just want to have that accountability partner. They're not at all interested in the business. It's a husband and she brings on her husband or she brings on her best friend. So you're going to treat them differently than you're going to treat these 2 people here, these 2 different types of people here. This in the column, the yellow column, they're interested. They may be a little hesitant, maybe a little skeptical. They may want to, you know, kind of dip their toe. But then green, they're like, I'm all in. They're Kara Carrington saying, I'm going to send 275 messages in my first month. They are all in. And so it kind of walks you through, what does that look like task-wise? And I think that a lot of you are like, I don't know how to lead. I say a lot of you. There are times that I'm like, I have to go back and look at this graph too to make sure I'm staying on top of what I need to be doing. But this is just a really nice, like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And this is, again, not cookie cutter. So, you know, like you'll see here, they have adding people to a 7-day challenge. Well, we don't have a 7-day challenge, but we have other things. So just know that this is like very loose, but this gives you a good idea of you're having them, you know, do a post on social media and you're helping them with it. They're creating their list of people that could benefit from the products and the opportunity. You're helping them with their messaging. You're helping them with 3-way messages. You are hosting events for them. So it just kind of gives you a checklist. So hopefully that will help you guys too. And again, this is in the featured section of Rising Jewels. And then there's some other ways to, I'm sorry, I can't read that. Other ways to something, your new, what does that say, Kara? Other ways to what?
Other ways to help your new leader.
Help. Thank you. This darn banner. I can't see anything. So you've walked through like that PACE form that we just looked at. You're helping them with in all those areas, but there are other ways to help your leaders. Now, don't listen to all this and be like super overwhelmed. This is a process. This is something that has taken years and years for people to learn and do. This is a process. This is not something that you need to wake up tomorrow and do all of these things. That's going to overwhelm you. That's going to burn you out. Just keep in the back of your mind that these are ways that you can help your new leaders as they are starting their business. So again, what we talked about, leading by example, that's the most important thing that you can do for your people. Those three-way messages, you offering to be in three-way messages with them and their people, and you putting those leaders in a three-way message with your leaders. So that way they can have recognition, they can have a place to go to and ask questions, feel supported in. Recognition is incredibly important. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in Rising Jewels, our team page on Facebook, we want you to recognize your people. It's so important. So when your new person signs their first customer, go recognize them on social media, you know, and in our team page. When your person goes silver, go crazy in our team page and recognizing them, celebrating their wins, even if it's not an accomplishment, like they have added somebody or they've gone silver, they've hit a rank. If they're showing up every day and they are leading with heart and they're posting beautifully, go and recognize them on social media. And go recognize them on our team page. Like that is going to build their belief, because I don't know about you guys, but when I started my business, I was so nervous about everything I was doing, but having Tamara look over my messages or affirm me in my posts, that gave me belief. Like, okay, this is good. What I'm doing is good. And having that recognition was so important for my growth. So go and be that voice for your people. Plugging them into the community. I have in here and encouraging them to do accountability group and book study. Those all go together. So, you know, maybe you have a thread, you can plug them into that community with your thread. Deeply encourage them to do accountability group. That's what Carrie Compton did with Rachel Allen when Rachel first joined. And that's what Rachel has talked about has really helped spur on her business. And we see that with so many people. And that's going to give them direction. That's going to give them guidance. And that's going to give them community. If you are having, you know, questions and hesitations of like, what do I do now? Go back to that PACE form and repeat. Have them go back and make sure that they're doing their posts, making sure they're in through messages, making sure that they've refreshed their list. So you have that checklist back there with the PACE form. Some ideas. Doing power hours with them, like you getting on a Zoom and you guys working together and doing power hours, getting them to events, making sure they know about like trainings like this or the opportunity calls that we have or in-person events, and then rewarding with fun incentives and prizes. As your people are ranking up, I encourage you to get them rank up gifts. Like it doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe when they join you, send them a thank you card and a $5 coffee card. Maybe when you see that they've completed a team challenge that are, you know, the jewels are running, but you see that they do it every single day, send them a little something like, hey, I'm so proud of you for doing this. Like I saw you doing this. I saw you showing up. I think that those little things are going to be huge for your leaders. And wrapping up now, John Maxwell says most people produce only when they feel like it. Leaders produce even when they don't feel like it. So these are things that we've talked about that take work. They take discipline, they take focus, but you are a leader. You are capable of doing this. So even on the days that you don't feel like it, even on the days when you would much rather sit down and watch Netflix or read your novel or scroll social media, stop that and go and do these tasks to grow your level 1 base, because remember our goal, go and grow your level 1 base and lead your business builders to do the same. Don't take your eyes off of that, because that's what's going to create a very solid foundation. I hope that helps. I'm going to read through these comments, and if I've missed a message or a question, somebody holler. Any questions, any thoughts? Okay, I don't see any questions in here. Nancy, you said, Emily, did you say plexus in your story when you first started? Like in my post, Nancy? I'm sure I did. I think from the very beginning, I was very upfront with whatever I was posting, whether it was like a story or a post or a message. I think I was. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
What do you say, like, if you're on the phone with them and they ask you, like, yeah, but like, what does this look like? Like, what does it mean to do this as a business, or what does the mean to work, like, when you're actually on the phone, like, and you're not going like, well, we'll just start by sending one message, you know?
Yeah, I think I would say, yeah, that's a really good question. This business is very simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it's very simple. So there are a few things that you're going to work on. Like you are, I don't want to call it recruiting because that sounds very, what's the word? Sounds like very like whatever. You're building clients. Like you're adding customers. So you're helping customers. You are helping them to have a happy experience with their products. You are helping them help other people, and you're sharing on social media. So really you are like adding customers, you're sharing on social media, and you're training yourself. Because ultimately that's what we're doing, right? Like we're training ourselves, we're giving customer care, which will hopefully turn into really great duplication. And then you're adding those customers. So I think that's what I would say. Like I am helping, I'm recruiting, and I don't like that word recruiting though when it comes to like telling people. So I don't know what else you would say, because that's like a pillar. What else would you say? Not recruiting. It sounds like you're in the military. But you know what I mean? Like I think I would just keep it simple. Like, great question. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple, but I'm helping people with their products, signing people up with their products, so on and so forth. And you can also say, and the cool thing is that we have a weekly gathering with our team to keep us accountable in those certain areas too. That was a good question, Michaela. Anybody else? Oh yeah, and you guys, I forgot to put that. I meant to put that in here. Lacey, you said utilize the silver and six. I don't know where that slide went. That's another one. I'm so sorry. I had that in my slide. Thank you, Lacey. So when you've like gone over the PACE form, it was supposed to be right after the PACE form. When you kind of looked over the PACE form, I would absolutely start every single person on the silver and six video. And that is also in the featured form, or in the featured list. Thank you for saying that, Lacey. But there's a silver and six videos that has just been updated. We just did it a month or two ago with Tamara's Diamonds. And I would have them walk one by one, one video by video. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, anybody else? Okay, all right. Thank you guys for being on. If you guys are in Hannah, and let me stop this